looks good, and here we go. Greetings, viewers and Myth fans, old and new. This is Par 73 bringing you a matchup in the round 4 top bracket of Myth World Cup 1999. Last time we met, the Saber Rummers defeated the Fellowship of Stonehive by an 11-point margin, sending the Fellowship to the bottom bracket. Saber Rummers moving on. They will be playing the winner of this matchup between BMF, the Bad Mofos, and Civil Order. Little history note: at the time, these two orders were known as the powerhouses of their era. Players and observers were allowed to vote on where they thought the 96 teams would end up and who would enter the top 20. And BMF received 212 votes to run away with the cup in first place. Civil Order receiving an even 200 votes to run away with the cup in first place. So this is the number 1, number 2 most favorited teams. All other teams favorited much less, by at least 40 to 60 votes. I forget the exact amount. So let me introduce these teams with 30 seconds to go. We have BMF, led by Papa Scrub, followed up with Sid the Great, My Modem is on Fire, Bullseye, Hunted, HDK, Scorpio, and Mythster. For Civil Order, we have Ruiner, Ananab Tilps, Visigoth, Stinger, Guttermouth, Fod, and El Destructo.
Game on.
Sid the Great is noticing that Civil has an even distribution of units and small groups, whereas BMF lending a third of their units to My Modem is a BMF and Scorpio respectively. We will have to see how this plays out. This is the map Cracks on the Cloudspine. It is a light mesh. The game type is Capture the Flag, featuring the Myth World Cup 1999 scoring. It's 15 points to capture the flag. Your team receives a point for every percentage remaining in increments of 10%, rounding down. And for contesting your opponent's flag based on the ratio of your units to theirs, based on unit trading value, you can receive points. For example, if the ratio was less than 50%, one thrall tagging a flag of 3 thrall, you would receive 2 points. If it was a 50% ratio, 1 thrall to 2 thrall, your team would receive 5 points. If you had between 75 to 99 percentage ratio, I should say, not percentage. Two very different things. You would receive 8 points between 75 and 99, and for 100 points, you are 100% ratio. 100. Here we go with the percents and ratios again. With a with 100% value, 1 thrall to 1 thrall contesting an even amount of value, your team would receive 10 points. So, now that I've ignored quite a bit of the action, we'll notice Scorpios moving up on the east flank. Civil, with their units mid, El Destructo hasn't moved over there yet. I am surprised. Visigoth and Stinger also hanging out mid. Meanwhile, Fod facing off with Scorpio, admitting he's not going to be able to beat Scorpio with the amount of units that he has. There's just simply too much melee for that BMF flank. He's gonna need some help, and Ruiner is telling Stinger and Visigoth to go west while El Destructo goes to pinch Scorpio in the east. My modem is on fire, is pushing in the west, taking a shot from Guttermouth's dwarf. That next toss, unable to make it over the cliffside, and Modem will lose a Stygian, an Archer, a Warrior, maybe a few more units at the end of that little skirmish, while Fod's just getting picked apart. So percentages are pretty even here. At the moment they are in favor of BMF. Both teams opting not to get any pus on the map. And Stinger and Ruiner are now moving across through the middle part of the map to go pay a little bit more attention to Scorpio. Meanwhile, both flags quite clear of any units. Visigoth keeping a Stygian in the vicinity, perhaps a 30-40 second walk of tagging range. Bullseye and Papa Scrub's dwarf should be able to knock it out. But any given day, there's any given amount of duds. You can run into some issues. And Modem is making a break for Civil's backfield while Stinger heads back to deal with that. Fod is just getting pushed by Scorpio. And not a lot of typing from Fod at the moment. He needs to start letting his dwarf loose on this big huge clump of melee, but he knows his dwarf will be in trouble very, very soon, and he's gonna take the shot off now. It will dud. He waited till the Stygian was chased up on him, unfortunately. And you can tell he's feeling the pressure. These two BMF forces are going to be in the range of Civil's forces pretty soon. Guttermouth for Civil opting to take the offensive route here, looking to push the 5 dwarf defense of BMF. The remaining dwarf on offense in the hands of Scorpio. And some satchel ghouls are going to go down. Judging by the color, they were Mythsters. And BMF getting dangerously close here to Civil's home flag. Sid the Great scoring 2 points for his team. It's now
flag contested.
80 percentages for both teams, setting to 8 points. 10-8 BMF. And Bullseye has dropped, so there's currently a hole on the BMF defense. Looks like it's not receiving too much pressure from Guttermouth, so it will be fine. And Stinger's archers just laying into Modem's warriors here, but it looks like Modem will take the high ground, surrounding the Civil flag, while Scorpio lets loose a fire arrow into Stinger's archer pack. Ruiner coming close to the fire, turning around at the last second, and Scorpio's dwarf will take the high ground. It's a combination of Modem and Scorpio coming up big here for BMF, putting a pretty big strangle on Civil's forces, and it looks like El Destructo has also leaked out into the offense. And BMF drops below 80%, so now they only have a total of 9 points, only leading Civil by 1 point. And Fard is going to make a break for Modem's archers here.
Flag contested. Flag contested.
Sid with the unnecessary contest, maybe just trying to grab the attention of his opponents. Looks like Anti-climax has also dropped for Civil, so it's only a 6-on-6 right now in the 56k combat. And Fard able to take down 2 archers before his melee succumbs. Scorpio losing all of his archers in the process of facing Stinger's archers alone. And Scorpio's dwarf doing some damage here, while it looks like Civil is losing some units. LD has some units going down. They've dropped below 80%. BMF resumes their 2-point lead. And Modem's just waiting to zero in here on Stinger's archers. And to me it looks like Civil just doesn't have enough on defense right now, while Guttermouth and El Destructor are just completely caught up. Their defensive forces are just completely surrounded by BMF. BMF even taking the high ground. And Civil drops below 70% before it looks like accidentally walking right off the flag, as Papa Scrub himself was getting nervous. God damn it, I'm gonna lose the flag. And in a matter of seconds, it's all over. I'm not sure I caught a contest by Guttermouth. We will check out the website to see how this was scored. As with 15 points for a capture and 73%, that is 70% remaining 7 points. You have 22 points for BMF. And a lot happening at once there. It got pretty intense. Checking out the website. What do we have here? And it looks like Civil was able to get in a contest by Guttermouth for 2 points. Whereas BMF coming up big here, netting a huge differential in points. They're going to jump out to a pretty large lead. It looks like a 20-point lead early on, netting 22 points this game. Civil only netting 2. We will have to see what happens in game 2, but let's go through some stats of the players who did not drop, that being Bullseye for BMF and Anti-climax, which is banana split backwards for Civil. We have Papa Scrub 1-0 and 9 damage, holding down the defense for his team. Scorpio and Modem on the flanks. 7 kills, 8 losses for Scorp. 4 and 7 for Modem. 77 damage for Scorpio, leading the game, it appears. 44 damage for Modem respectively, and Hunted HDK going 4-0 with 30 damage. Sid the Great supporting with his early contest, which ended up not being so necessary after all, after his team swiftly took that flag. The likes of Scorpio there and Modem combined, just too much. The high ground, too much. What can you do? And Mr. coming up himself with 2 losses, no kills, no damage, losing 2 satchel goals, I believe. And for Civil, Ruiner with the same exact statistics as Mr. here. Although he was in the captain role, 0 kills, 0 damage, and 2 losses. FOD netting 9 kills to losses, 70 damage. Stinger, half the damage of FOD, but 7-0 kills and losses, not losing any of his units. Very, very good play by the archers to stay out of the range of the dwarf and the enemy archers. However, keeping 1 or 2 extra archers on this flag could have potentially saved the game, as the melee would have clearly made the decision to walk off accidentally. It might have actually given a better reason for the melee to even stick around and protect those archers. Who knows? But letting this dwarf up kind of outweighs the 0 losses here, unfortunately, in my eyes, for Stinger. But all around, good play by him. You know, playing smart and safe. I'm sure he was trained to do that. And got him out 3-2, 57 damage. Trying to push BMF flags here, able to score that contestant. I believe it was his gold which died right here. And LD trying to push up in the northeast, unable to do much of anything. 0 kills, 4 losses, and 14 damage. And Visigoth, 0 kills, 0 damage, 0 losses. It appears he had a huge amount of melee here. Really unfortunate that he and Ruiner lost control of this flag here. As reflected in their stats, they didn't even get to jump in the fight. They were just trying to stay safe until it was the right moment. But unfortunately for Civil, they are going to be down 20 points going into Game 2. It will be a repeat of Crack CTF. So we will see how the teams respond. BMF jumping out to the early lead. Next game type is CTF. They're no doubt thinking to hold on and maintain that lead. We'll see what they do. And we'll see how Civil responds to this defeat. Be able to see some of the end game chat as I say my goodbyes here. And I hope you all enjoyed the cast. I hope you guys enjoy the match and the series. And thank you all for watching and viewing and sharing these moments with me. So have a good one, and we'll see you in Game 3. GG.
Team eliminated. Game over.
Ruin is nice enough to say GG.